For more now, we bring in ABC News contributor Channa Lloyd, an attorney with the Cochran firm. Thanks as always for joining us, Channa. The prosecutor argued that under Wisconsin law, if you provoke an incident, you essentially lose the right to say that you acted in self-defense. He said that Rittenhouse provoked this by pointing his gun around. Is the law a bit more complex than that?
It is a slightly more complex than that, Linsey, in that when it comes to provocation, it affects self-defense in that if you are the person that's engaged in an unlawful activity such that you provoke someone to attack you, you then cannot claim self-defense. Now, if you suddenly, the person doing the unlawful act believes they're in imminent harm or grave bodily harm, they must exhaust every effort to get out of the situation before they can resort to grave bodily harm. And that is the way it affects the self-defense argument. So it is a little bit more complex than they presented it.
And Rittenhouse was hit with a skateboard, which we've talked about before, that could possibly be considered a weapon. Rittenhouse's lawyer also described his client being chased. How strong was that defense?
You know, it's going to be interesting because that's going to boil down to the perspective of the juror. To some people, they're going to see a skateboard and say that there's no way I thought I was in grave bodily harm's way. However, you're going to have other jurors that are going to see that and be like, I would have been terrified. So this part is really going to boil down to the perspective of these individual jurors and their life experiences.
This case seemed quite complicated, but yet it moved along rather rapidly. Would you say that the trial went smoothly, all things considered?
I don't know if smoothly is the word I'd use to describe it, Linsey. The judge was very interesting, very vocal. You don't typically see that. There was a lot of issues between the state attorney and the judge. Typically, that wasn't very smooth. So I don't know if I would call this a smooth trial at all, although the judge was intent on pushing it through, and that he is done.
How tough do you think that this case will be for the jury? And if you had to predict, how long could deliberations take?
It's going to really depend on how, when they read those jury instructions, how clear they feel about it. A lot of juries, when it comes to self-defense, because there are things like provocation that they have to consider, they have to determine if they feel like self-defense applied, and then they don't consider the lesser included. So there's a lot of little nuances to this that I think the jury may take a little bit more time to make sure that they're being deliberate in each of the acts against each of the victims in this case.
Channa Lloyd, I'm sure we'll be checking back in with you throughout the week. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Linsey.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.